everybody. Diada's here from Fitale Fit Club, and I am joined here today by two of my most famous and favorite fitness bloggers. We have Sheila from the Frugal Exerciser, and we have Markita from Sweshfit. Hey, ladies.
Hello, how are you this
Hey.
evening?
So let's take care of a little housekeeping. As we get started, if anyone out there watching has a question, make sure you send me a tweet on Twitter at DSTPRL with hashtag lose healthy. And if I get it in time while we're on air, I will ask that question on air. So with that said, I think we are ready to get going. So I'm going to pose this first question to Markita and then to Sheila. What is your background, or actually just introduce yourselves. Tell us a little about you.
Okay, so I'm Marketa. I live in Chicago, Illinois. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, and my background, so let's see, it has nothing to do with fitness. I went to school for business, and I work full-time at United Airlines in business, and that's kind of my full-time gig. And about 5 years ago, I just, I've always kind of had fitness as a part of my life. I was kind of an athlete in high school, and then I've always played different sports. I play tennis, I do yoga, and so I decided, you know what, I really want to get more involved in fitness, and I found myself just wanting to motivate people and just do more. So I got a fitness certification, personal training certification through the National Association of Sports Medicine, NASM, and I started personal training part-time, did that for some time. Also hosted a boot camp class, the wedding boot camp, and found that to be a lot of fun. And so these days, I tend to do some freelance personal training every now and then, and I also now have a website, Sweshfit, which I started earlier this year. And I started it basically because, yeah, you're hearing from me, of my own struggles, which is basically I'm busy. Like, I just have a lot going on. I got married about a year ago, and I, have the social life that I like to try to maintain, and just a lot going on. And so I wanted to create a solution for a lot of people like me, because my friends and family have the same issue where it's just like don't have enough time. So Sweshfit is basically a website where I talk about everything related to trying to stay fit and just not having a lot of time. So I post a calendar of workouts on a monthly basis, and the workouts are all 15 minutes each and designed to be done quickly, obviously, and done at home. And then I also blog about everything related to fitness, health, diet, lots of fun things. And I'm constantly on a weight management journey myself, so I'm excited to do this thing with everybody as a part of this.
Awesome. And Sheila.
Hi everyone, I'm Sheila. I've been in the fitness industry for years. I graduated from Ball State in '88 with a master's in exercise physiology, and my first job was at St. Anthony's Hospital in Crown Point, Indiana, in cardiac rehab and wellness. And then from there, I worked for like 20 years in the federal system running their fitness program in a corporate fitness arena. And then around, I say 88, or 1990, 1991, when I got married, I started my own fitness business called The Body Workout. And what I did was I rented a school gym where I went to elementary school. And I did that for many, many years. And then 1995, I started my personal training business, and I've been doing it ever since. It's called The Body Workout, and I do in-home personal training. And then about 2 years ago, I started my blog. It's called The Frugal Exerciser, and I kind of got inspired because of the economy. It crashed, and a lot of people didn't have the money to spend on fitness, so I decided to mesh the two with frugality and doing workouts at home, how to stay healthy on a budget, that type of thing. And it's been going great ever since. And what can I say? I just hope that that people who join us today can get something out of this as far as weight loss, because like Marketa, Diada, and I, we are here to inspire and to help people. That is our love. That is our passion.
So tell us or tell our audience, what is your background in this particular topic, how to lose weight in a healthy way?
Markita?
Marketa?
Okay, well, I'll start. Sure. So I've done it all. Just like everyone who's watching this has probably done a lot of different things, experimenting with different diets. I mean, I think my first diet was cabbage soup when I was in like fifth grade. Like, why am I in fifth grade doing a diet? First of all, and like, where did I even get this from? So, I mean, I didn't take it that seriously, but I did do it. And as I've, gone through the years, I've done a lot of different things, and I have found that what matters most is exactly what we're talking about. Just being healthy, being balanced, and figuring out, most of all, what works for you. So, I see a lot of people latch on to, if somebody says, Weight Watchers just did everything in the world to me. Everyone latches on to Weight Watchers. But if you're not the type of person where that type of calorie tracking system or points tracking system works for you, it's never going to work. And so in that instance, a person that's not a Weight Watchers dieter, to do that, I wouldn't call that doing it in a healthy way. So, my experience has just been, when you figure out that thing that works for you, and you have to be uncomfortable, obviously, a diet is initially kind of uncomfortable. You're doing some things you're not used to. But I found that when you do the thing that works for you, you're way more successful, you feel way more fulfilled, and yeah, that's just been my experience.
Okay, Sheila?
Okay, I kind of agree with Markita. I never really had a weight problem per se, so it's not like I've gone on many diets, but I experienced the weight loss battle with a lot of my clients. And I've had clients who will track, who won't track, who hate tracking. I have clients who say, I just want something that's convenient, like some food delivery system. I've had clients that say, well, I love, getting online and putting down my calories that will track. And I have some people who say, well, I like doing cardio, low carb diets. So I guess it comes down to what you feel comfortable with, what will fit in your lifestyle. And I find that with a lot of clients, I have to really, talk to them, figure out what kind of lifestyle do they lead. Are they busy moms? Are they the type are very detailed? Are they the type that want something that it doesn't require a lot of thinking? So I think when it comes down to the weight loss game, it's more, weight loss is possible for anybody. And I think once you lose the weight, the biggest problem is keeping it off. That's more so, I think, is a big problem. Once you lose the 10 pounds or the 20 pounds or whatever, how are you going to keep it off? And that's what I see over the years, what goes on with my clients. I had a client who I got her ready for her sister-in-law's wedding. She went from a size 18 to a size 10. And then she kept it off for 2 years, and now she's back to square one. She's an 18 again, and she has to go back and she has to really figure out where she went wrong. How do you make this into a lifestyle change? So I think that's a big issue. But that's my experience with the different weight loss programs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move on to the next question. I haven't received any questions yet, but I will keep checking as we continue this discussion. But the next question is, and this is one of my favorites, what are some of the wrong ways you have seen people try to lose weight? And we'll start with Marketa.
Okay, so I'll name, a few that come to mind. So one wrong way is I've seen people go by what I'll call or what a lot of people call bro science, right? Like just old school mentality.
What kind of science?
So bro science.
Okay.
Right? It's like, yo, dude, I mean, you just like eat all these mashed potatoes and you have all these carbs in your system, bro. Like that's where it comes from. That's my bro voice. But so one example of that is I have a friend that decided to go vegetarian, and we talked about it beforehand, and it's actually two friends, they're a couple, and they've been wanting to lose weight and they had the right intention, but they just didn't really think through, like, what does that mean to go vegetarian the healthy way? They were just thinking in their heads, oh, meat is bad. Meat is bad, red meat is bad, because that's just what a lot of people have been told in the past. So not really thinking through it logically, like if you throw a bunch of like ranch dressing on your chicken, that's probably not going to be healthy. Or, you know, if you like put a bunch of grease, like fried chicken, that's probably not the healthy. So not really thinking through that. That's one bad way that I've seen people lose weight. And, you know, it lends itself to other things too, like people thinking fat is bad, so they don't want to eat fat. Or, you know, just a lot of different ways, like where people just don't really think through it logically. So, you know, do your research at a trusted source and figure out what's right. The second way that I think I've seen people lose weight the wrong way has been starving themselves. People like to brag about the fact that it's 1 o'clock and they haven't eaten all day. And it's like, just like, oh, it's not working. It has not worked yet. And so I feel like people feel good about feeling hungry, but then they don't necessarily see the results. But for some reason, it gets in their head that I haven't eaten all day, or I ate one meal today, so therefore I'm doing something good. So, you know, just really not like. Also, I mean, and with both of those, either of those could actually work, right? You could be vegetarian and you could lose weight, and you could also not eat a lot. And we've seen that with like the Biggest Loser girl, for example. She didn't hardly eat anything, and she lost a lot of weight. But you know, look at the results. If you're not seeing the results, I mean, and if you're seeing too much of the result, that's a bad thing too. But if you're not seeing the results, it's probably not working. So that's just a couple of things I've seen that are not so great.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. First of all, starving yourself is never good. Your body needs food, and good, clean food, to fuel itself, to repair itself, and to maintain itself. So we definitely do not encourage starving yourself in an effort to lose weight. You will lose muscle and other good things for you that you don't need to lose to maintain normal daily function. So Sheila, what about you? What are some of the wrong ways you've seen people try to lose weight?
I think I'm going to piggyback on what Marketa just said, and two things. I think one would be people lose the weight, but they might lose the weight on a cabbage diet, eating all cabbage, or a lemonade diet.
Yeah.
And then
I don't judge. I was in fifth grade.
You know, they go back to they'll go back to eating their hamburgers or fries, or their portion sizes are too large or whatever. That's one. And two, some people they say to me, well, you know, I did like 3 hours of exercise, you know, today, but then they're not changing their eating habits. So they might change a couple things, but they think they can exercise their diet.
Oh, I eat this ice cream and drink this beer, of course.
Right. So they might change a couple things, and then they exercise, and then they're like, oh, you know, why am I not losing and all that? So I think those two things too go along with what Marketa said.
Well, we have a question, ladies.
Okay.
We have a question in from Tanya. Hey, Tanya. She's an ex-coworker of mine. She's really, really great. But her question is, what words of wisdom would you give someone who's been doing well for 4 weeks or so, and then all of a sudden nothing that worked is working? All my go-to foods just aren't appetizing. Who wants to take that?
I would say try to experiment with new recipes. You know, I like to do that all the time. I go on Skinny Taste, Cooking Light, and I try to make it an experience, something new, a new challenge. And I think you might have to do, if you're feeling that you're kind of like in a rut, you know, the same foods. I'm eating a salad with salmon. So you might want to try something different. Like I did the other day, I made collard wraps. You know, I took collard greens and I used them as wraps, you know, and it was delicious, you know. And I was like getting tired of just eating, you know, just a salad. I've been experimenting with salads the last 2 weeks, and I was like, oh my God, I'm kind of like it's just too much. You know, I said, I need something new, something fresh. So you might want to try that.
Okay, good. Good, Marketa, did you want to comment?
Yeah, and I'll add to that, like, also, like, it's okay. Sometimes your body is just craving something, and try to figure out what that is. If like, so I recently changed diets, and and we'll talk about it at some point. I've been doing paleo, and if you're not familiar with paleo, you cut out a lot of things. Like for the most part, it's grains and dairy. I mean, those are kind of the big two that I struggle with. And I would have, like, cereal has been my go-to, which is a combination of everything I cannot eat. And so for breakfast, I've been getting really bored. I was doing like green smoothies every day, and then sometimes I do an omelet, and it's just like, dude, I just cannot eat more green smoothies and omelets because I get very bored with food. So you know what? I just threw a bowl of cereal in there, and like, it's okay. Like, have it, move on in life, accept that you had that craving, and then do exactly what Sheila said, and like try to spice up your recipes, while you're going through that period, and get back on on track with your diet.
And also, I think, yeah, like Marketa said, you also might want to have a free day where if you've been good the whole week, and I would just forget about eating healthy. If it has to be a free meal, just have what you want, and then the next day get back on it, because I think you're kind of getting burnt out with it. And also, you also hit plateaus with your weight loss, and sometimes you gotta change it up a little bit, and go back and, like Marketa said, and maybe eat that cereal or have that cookie, and then get back on track.
Awesome. She said thank you. She needed to hear that. So here's another question that we have. How do you help your clients deal with a mental challenge when losing weight and being afraid of running out of clothes? This may sound a bit weird, but I've lost a pant size and find myself nervous about losing more. Wow. The mental. Not a lot of people talk about that. Who wants to take that one?
Okay, I'll take that one as my first one. I have a client, she hates to exercise. And I really had to work with her on, changing her mindset. And what we decided to do is I see her Saturday and Sunday, and then it's up to her to work out on her own. So I said, why don't we do this? Just give me 2 extra days, and what you do is keep the momentum going. Since I saw you Saturday, Sunday, Monday you're going to work out, and then Tuesday you're going to work out, and then don't think about it until I see you again on Saturday. So we're actually like playing some type of mind game because she just hates to work out. So that's one of the things I find with some clients. That's one aspect, getting them to work out. As far as eating, it's just that you got to find something that works for you. You really have to work on it and like search your soul and say, am I the person who is going to do paleo? I'm going to just cut out some of these things in my diet, or am I a person who eats on the run? You got to really analyze what type of person you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And
coming in, ladies.
Okay, well, I'll just answer it quickly. I haven't seen that problem, but congrats on your weight loss. And I'll say the same thing as Sheila. Like, just a mental issue is a mental issue. So really, just trying to understand like what is causing it. I mean, the fear of success can be scarier sometimes than success. Or than failure. I'm sorry. So I feel like that's what it is in your case, and this venture into these lower pant sizes and lower, like,
embrace it.
Different body image represents so much more for you. So, acknowledge that and like figure out, what it is that it will change in your life that makes you uncomfortable. Maybe some of your friends will change. Maybe you'll get a better, different job. Who knows? Who knows what will change? But, try to put some thought into that and just keep going, girl. Or boy, I don't think we said the gender, but you're on the right track.
I want to add one thing quickly. I had a client, remember I told you the one who was an 18 and was a 20? Mm-hmm. This is another advice I can give. Once you drop 2 sizes, get rid of those clothes. Because she dropped from an 18 to 10, she kept all her clothing. So she started gaining weight. So she went into a 12, and she said, okay, I'm stopping there. I'm not going anymore. And then she got into a 12, and then she said, okay, I'm stopping there. And she went to a 14. Then she said, I'm stopping there. So another thing is get rid of the clothes. Get them out. Get them out. Get them out your sight. You're starting a new chapter in your life. If you were 18, now you're in 16. Say bye-bye to 18. Donate them.
Awesome. So here's our next question from Mrs. Brown.
Okay.
She asks, I've had a hysterectomy and experienced an immediate drop in metabolism, which I am told is normal. Despite exercising intensely, I seem to be only maintaining and have not been able to lose my post-surgical recovery weight. Any breaks from exercise result in additional weight gain. Personal trainers and my primary care physician have offered no help. Please advise. Wow.
Has she gone to see a nutritionist? Or sometimes you need to see, I would say go get a metabolic, and what is that test? An RER test where you breathe in this machine and it tells you how many calories you expend daily. And did your doctor talk to you about your, because I have hypothyroidism and my metabolism is naturally low. So I actually have to watch what I eat, and I try to do a lot of exercise, weight training to increase my metabolism, but also see if you have hypothyroidism, and also check and make an appointment to see a registered dietitian. I would advise that.
Okay.
And I had a girl in a class years ago that I think it was the same thing as what you said, Sheila. She had hypothyroidism and, you know, just a lot of issues with losing weight. And it kind of happened suddenly at a point in her life. And I mean, it's like you said, see a dietitian. Chances are the workouts, you know, will obviously help, but diet is usually one of the biggest pieces. But see a dietitian and see if you can come to some type of diet plan. And I would think that, you know, as scary as it sounds, making some type of radical change could possibly do it. And that change could be, you know, just, I don't know, maybe you're no longer doing dairy, or maybe you're adding a lot more protein versus carbs, or something like that. I have found success with that, and I found that a lot of other people have had success with that, with their diets in particular. So, yeah, the dietitian is a good way to go.
Okay. Great. So I am collecting questions, and I have some preset questions. So I'm going to go to one of mine, and then we'll come back to the audience. What are some of the correct ways for someone to lose weight? Markita?
Okay. How are we doing with our time with answering questions, Yada? Is this like the right way?
We're doing good.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
I tend to be underwinded. Most people are overwinded. I talk too fast and too quickly. Okay, so best way. What the question was? The best ways people lose weight.
What are the correct ways for someone to lose weight?
The correct ways. Okay, so it's obviously the opposite of what we were talking about earlier, and with the opening question or the second question in terms of like the diet that works for you is the right way to go. And the correct ways that I have seen has been when people have paid attention to their bodies and the way their body is reacting to whatever diet that they're on. So this could mean that a diet has been very successful for you, you've lost weight, and then you get to a plateau and you say, okay, what do I need to do differently? And you change to something else. Or this could mean that you very slowly lose weight over the course of a year, not nearly as fast as you want to, but you lose it very slowly. But just paying attention to, okay, how am I doing? And not so much, am I losing like 10 pounds in a month, but am I making progress? And just continue, as long as you're making progress, like trust me, you're heading in the right direction. You're never gonna lose weight as quickly as you want to. I know like for this challenge, we do have a little bit of a time constraint, which is a very good, comfortable time constraint, and it kind of forces you to like, a little kick in the pants. But you know, like slow and steady is the way to go. Like Deanna said earlier, weight maintenance and just keeping that weight is the hardest thing. So, so like I talked about paleo for me earlier, that worked for me last month. And then I've been making some changes to it lately. I'm going to talk about it in a blog post coming up soon, some things that I haven't been too happy about. And so, that's been kind of good for me. At one point, it was tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal, and I felt like that was like a really healthy way for me to go. And a lot of my old clients and people in my classes have found a lot of success doing it that way. So those are some of the ways that I've seen have been good.
Okay.
I would say because, the diabetic challenge is going to be more like a jump start, because the proper way would be to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And so we have to think of it as a jump start. And then once the diabetes is over, I would say you want to lose slowly and steady, 1 to 2 pounds a week. Because as we know, large weight losses over a long period of time leads to weight gain.
Yeah.
So I say one of the proper ways of starting a program, a weight loss program, would be to maybe see your doctor, see if you have any health issues, and then going from there, doing a lot of reading. Looking at the top 10 diets, like the DASH diet, blah blah blah, salvage, paleo, and see which one interests you the most. Okay, and then you should go from there. See which one fits your lifestyle.
Okay. So, what methods can one employ to support their weight loss journey? Anything specific, Marketa?
So I am a big fan of motivation. I love my Instagram motivation. Couple that I like are like if you even just look up like fit, search for fit in Instagram, you'll find some. But there's a ton that like. Where are you smiling, Deanna? Who do you have in mind?
No.
Okay.
I love this.
But yeah, motivational, like just whatever it is, and if it's quotes, whatever kind of got you started, like keep doing that type of thing to like keep you going. If it's like, I don't know, your kids and just seeing them happy, looking at pictures of them. But I think like just any type of inspiration that goes beyond just thinking, oh, I got to lose 5 more pounds, that can get you focused on a bigger picture is really helpful.
Great idea.
What I do with a lot of my clients, I actually have them, if they're let's say size 18, I have them do a little collage of clothes that are size 16. And then I said next little collage of size 14. And I have a little cut a picture of their head and put it on the model. I said, this is what I'm going to look like at a 14, and this is what I'm going to look like at a 16, that type of thing. And this is my ultimate goal. So to make it like, like short-term goals and then long-term goals. A short-term goal would be maybe going from an 18 to a 16, a comfortable 16 in 3 months. And then my long-term goal would be a size 10, so they have a picture or a collage and say, this is what I'm going to look like, or this is what I looked like when I was 21, but I'm not going to look like that before, but close to something I might want to attain. I think that's good motivation. And then also I have them, maybe if they have a friend or a buddy or a family member who can join in on it, because as you know that, especially in households, if your diet on a eating program and your spouse isn't, that can cause a lot of problems because they're going to be bringing things in the house and you're going to be getting upset. And I see that a lot with clients. They're like, oh my God, my husband brought in his whole box of Oreos. So it does help when your spouse is on board with you. Or you have a buddy, like a girlfriend, you're doing the same program, and then if your husband brings in some Oreos, you can get on the phone and say, can you believe it? He brought me some Oreos, and then the person can say, stay strong, stay strong. Keep on track. So I think the buddy system is great too.
Yes, I have to echo that. The buddy system is great. My quick short story is I had a sister friend, sister neighbor. We started a boot camp together, and I remember her first day going, and she's like, I'm not coming back after this session. I hate it. But since I had to drive past her house, I would pick her up. And we would drive and talk in the morning, just 5-10 minutes till we get there, then we come back. Well, we did that for a year together. And even when I fell off and I stopped going as frequently, she has never missed a session. Never. And part of that was just us bonding in the morning, trying to get our minds right for the workout ahead of us, and just staying positive and saying positive things to each other. And then once you get there, all the positive people, it really makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Really
That support is huge.
It is. It is. So, what are some common mistakes that people to avoid? Well, let me ask my question again. What are some weight loss myths? Sorry, that you want people to do away with? This is one of my favorites because there's so many.
There's so many. Well, I started off talking about the bro science, all that stuff. And I guess the best way, like, before I even get into like specific myths, is like find a source of truth that you trust. And you've got 3 great, sites between the 3 of us that you can go to where we're going to tell you, our honest opinion. And you see a picture, that's just a random thing. If you don't see a picture of a person when you go to one of these like health and fitness sites, don't trust them. There is not a person there. They're just telling you something to sell you something. So find a source of truth that you can trust. I'm right, Yada, right? Like, it's just like random stuff out here. Like, who is this person? Like, so yeah, some of the ones that I've heard, like people like to focus on one type of thing. So, fats are bad. Like a while ago, fats were bad, and then like lately I've heard like fats are really good, and so I know people that have gone on very high fat diets, which can be good in its own way, but to think that you could swing one way or another and it's just going to do everything for you is not the way to go. Another one that kind of is related is, superfoods. So people feel like, oh, if I eat a superfood, and, Google superfoods if you're not familiar with what those are, but some of the things that people, that are popular right now are like kale and sweet potatoes and, I don't know, olive oil. And these things are considered superfoods because they're very nutrient rich and they're great foods, but they have calories too. So you can't just, eat as many avocados as you want to. That has a lot of fat in it as well. So that's, a little bit of a myth. I think it was Sheila that said it earlier, that you can out-exercise a bad diet. That's another one. You really can't. If you just do the math yourself, you can run your butt off on a treadmill for an hour and you're going to burn 1,000 calories, maybe like 1,200 if you've got a really good metabolism, and you can eat that in one sitting. So, diet is very, very important. And on the flip side, that you can diet and you don't have to exercise is another myth. You actually can lose weight this way, but you will lose a lot of muscle. You'll have a higher chance of gaining all that weight back because of that, and you won't feel as good. And, at the end of the day, we want to feel good about the way we're losing weight and, just in our day-to-day lives. So you need them both. Those are my things.
I agree. What about you, Sheila? What are some myths?
I think that anything you read in a magazine or on internet, it says is easy. And you take this pill and you're gonna lose some weight. No, nothing's easy about losing weight. I can tell you that right now. If you think it's easy, no, it's not easy. It requires dedication. It requires taking your spirit and being strong. And
I'm glad you brought that up, Sheila. I am glad, because people think, oh, I can take a fat-burning pill. I'll just take a pill. And if I do that for a certain amount of time, then I'll lose weight. But what I think people don't understand is in the short term, and this is someone told me this who was competing in fitness and competitions, that those are only meant to be taken short term, and if taken over the long term, can actually have some detrimental effects on your body. So, those pills are not your true form of losing and maintaining good body weight?
For example, there was I can't think of the pill, but it was the mango pill.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did, they construed the study, and the study was actually taking the mango seed, grinding it up, especially because it comes from my husband's country, and the study was done looking at cholesterol, and the seed has a lot of fiber. So what the people who were like manufacturing, they changed it around and said you're going to lose weight, but actually the study was that you would it increased your fiber and you would lose your cholesterol would be lower. So you can't. Sometimes you have to go beyond what you see. And
Yeah.
I actually Googled it and found the study, and it was like, yes, it was great for cholesterol lowering, but it's not great for losing weight. So that's one of the things. One myth I find a lot of clients see, and I see this a lot with people. You see the infomercials at night. They'll say, do Zumba or do, what do you call it, or do the treadmill walker, and you'll burn 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
That's
So
hard to
that is a myth. Okay, that's a myth. The only person probably would burn 1,000 calories is somebody who weighs over 300 pounds and who's in great shape. So weight loss, calorie burns is correlated to your body weight. So if you weigh 120 pounds and you work out as hard as possible, you're not going to burn 1,000 calories. So what they're doing is say, oh yeah, you'll burn 1,000 calories, but it's based on somebody who was 300 pounds who worked out really hard for an hour. So that kind of like fools people. So you got to really get out there, read, do a lot of research, and I would say look at magazines like or articles like from like New York Times, from ACE, from American Heart Association. Those are good places to start.
Okay. Okay. And so here is my last and final question. What are some common mistakes to avoid when losing weight?
What's the
Few
question?
common mistakes.
Okay.
Common mistake. Oh, I'll let you repeat it, Yada.
What are some common mistakes to avoid when losing weight?
Okay.
So, I think one common mistake is micromanaging your weight loss, stepping on the scale like every, twice a day. Even every day can be bad for you. Even every week can be bad for you. Again, it goes back to like how is that working for your weight loss goals? If you step on the scale, I know me personally, I usually will weigh myself in the morning if I weigh myself at all. If I weigh myself before my workout, it will get to my head. Like, I don't know, either I'm thinking like, oh, I just gained 3. It's really silly. So I've actually kind of stopped using the scale, period. But I think so. Micromanaging your weight loss can be really bad because you'll lose weight through water, through muscle, all types of things. So that's a bad thing. Another common mistake is, giving up. I mean, that's probably the most common one is, just not sticking with it and not pushing through the hard
Like it's the instant. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'm thinking that's because people don't see an instant result, right?
Also, I
Right.
think what Marketa was saying
Exactly.
that people might make a mistake and they'll say they'll have a bad eating weekend or a bad day and then they'll gain a couple pounds and then they just give up.
Exactly.
I just have to tell people you fall off the wagon, get back on. Just don't, it's not all or none. It's not just black and white. It's some gray area. So if you gain some weight, that's fine. Just as long as you get back on track, just get back on track. So I think that's
And I personally encourage people to have what I call an off season. It shouldn't be a full season. It could even be a couple days. It could be a week. But embrace the fact that sometimes you are not going to have whatever the time because you're focused on something. It could be a test coming up for you. It could be stress. It could be whatever. And, try to just deal with that. And like Sheila said, you gain a little bit of weight. That's okay. You lost it before. You'll lose it again. So stick to it.
another thing I think I see is people might get so like, okay, I got to do this, got to do this, I can do this, and they're so strict. and then they crash, because they don't allow themselves to say, well, you know what, your body's craving something, and you should go ahead and just have that. If you've been like great, like for a whole week, and you want some fries, go get those fries. Don't feel bad about it. Eat those fries. And then, but the next day, just get back on it. That's what I see a lot too.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, ladies, that we are about to wrap up. Thank you so much for all of this good information. For those of you out there watching, I hope you found this informative and helpful. And if you weren't able to catch it live, we will be posted out on YouTube at youtube.com/CurlyDST, CurleeDST. And before we leave, wanted to make an announcement. We all three of us are sponsoring or hosting a Diet Vet challenge, and basically that $25 gets you in, and you are betting that you can lose 4% of your body weight in 28 days or 4 weeks. The challenge starts July 14th. Weigh-ins start July 12th. We hope you join us. Again, we hope you enjoyed this Google Hangout on Air Live. We're glad to have you with us, and we are out. Bye.
Bye.
This is. Bye, everyone.